Hello, my name is Pavan. I'm currently a medical student at the University of British Columbia. I just started my medical studies 2 weeks ago, which is super exciting. But as the first person in my family that's ever attended medical school and is pursuing a career as a physician, it's an extremely exciting but nerve-wracking process. And throughout the process of being a pre-medical student, fulfilling my requirements, studying for the MCAT, doing the applications, it has been quite a steep learning process. I really haven't had a ton of guidance. I've been fortunate where I've been introduced to great mentors, and I've been so lucky for that. But not having someone really close and getting just to watch them from afar over a very long time was a bit difficult. And there's a lot of things I had to just learn by myself, and I became almost obsessed with this whole admission process and what's the best way to approach it. And by no means have I mastered it. I've been fortunate enough to get in, but there's still a lot I'm learning. And my motivation in vlogging my journey through medical school really is to help inspire those future physicians to keep planning through those pre-med requirements and the MCATs, and really making sure they save time to keep care of themselves and volunteer. And for those who aren't sure whether a career in a career in a health professional isn't the best thing for them, I hope that I kind of give you a real perspective on what it is exactly, how it feels like, the journey, the emotional roller coaster you build as you go through this journey. Instead of simply just telling you, hey, well, we're going to spend about 2 years in the classroom learning clinical skills, and you're going to spend 2 years in the hospital, then you do your residency. Well, that information you can readily read online. But understanding kind of the humanistic aspect of how you're dealing with this process, I think, is much more valuable. I like to quickly lay some ground rules before I go on, just to make sure I uphold the professional standards as I enter this career as a physician, and kind of respect patients and the university's privacy and copyright issues. So I will not be taking aspects from my lecturer's notes specifically. I may talk about it generally, and I'll never discuss any cases specifically. And any details will always be changed appropriately. So if it was a he, it'll be a she. I'll change ages. I'm more talking about general concepts and dealing with how am I dealing with this journey and aspects that I feel that could help others who are aspiring to follow my suit, or just other med school students who are kind of lagging, losing inspiration, and forget why they chose this journey. There was a great quote the president of Doctors of BC gave in his lecture before he gave us the awesome Doctors of BC backpacks, which is every medical student in Canada for every med school class gets their own backpack. This one's given by Doctors of BC, but the Canadian Medical Association gives it to every med school student across Canada. And it's a great way to bond because every class has their own color. So for us, it was teal. But to get back to what he said, he had a great quote from Mark Twain which was, the two most important days in your life are the day you were born and the day you find out why. I was just, wow. And it totally brought me out of I was kind of in a negative state. It was a long week. I was kind of itching to go home, and I was kind of, I don't want to be in this lecture. It made me realize in life, you never really 100% control the outcome or what happens, but you 100% control your attitude. And every moment in your life, you can either focus on the obligation or focus on the opportunity. And I realized too much I've been focusing on obligation. I had the amazing opportunity to interview at Harvard Medical School, but unfortunately I didn't earn admission to the school. And I realized there was a ton of excitement, and I was so happy to meet all the cool peers at med school and just the amazing lecturers we have that were so dedicated to our success, and just really supporting us, not just as students, but as human beings. But there was a bit of me at this nagging negative voice, kind of always finding the negatives, the flaws, like, oh, the class is too big, yada, yada, yada. And I realized I was constantly making this comparison. And all getting into school really is good. It's good for dealing with your insecurities, and it's nothing else. And I was focusing on these negatives, and I was really fixated on the obligations, not the opportunities. Right? So no matter how wonderful things are, if we're always focused on the negative, always focused on the obligations, not for the amazing opportunities, not for the fact that I'm in medical school at one of the best medical schools in the world. I have friends and family that are supporting me through this journey. I have amazing faculty support, amazing peers at UBC, and I get to spend all day in a classroom learning from the world's experts in their fields instead of having to work a manual labor job. Like, it's ridiculous how you can be negative in such a situation. But the human mind, what kept us alive is the fixating on the problems. Because if when we walk in the forest and we didn't focus on that tiger, but we focused on the beautiful scenery around me, we probably wouldn't make it to here. We live in such a safe and beautiful world. We have to deal with our negative bias and remind ourselves, hey, we have amazing opportunities. There's just so many blessings around us. And the key to really enjoying life isn't about having everything go rosy, but it's about controlling your focus. I'd like to thank you very much for tuning in. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and share with your fellow YouTubers. And if you'd like to follow my journey through medical school, please make sure to subscribe below. Thank you.